Hi guys, welcome back. And of course, it's time. The time is now. It's time for us to get to know what we've got so that we tell people exactly how it looks like and what it's all about. So today we shall be answering to the question, what is Obless? So Gideon, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Comfort. Thank you, all our participants in the house. Let me start from Anita, Andy, and Collins. I'm glad to be with you. And all our viewers out there, thank you very much. My name is Gideon Ezemba. I'm reaching you from Lagos, Nigeria. I should
All
answer
right.
the question, what is Hopeless?
No, not
Hopeless?
yet. Not yet. You just wanted
Uh,
to say hi. So thank you. Thanks, of course, for
yes.
joining. It's always a pleasure having you. Hello, Andy.
Hi guys, what a day.
What a day indeed.
Let's get on with Oh Bless.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Looking forward to this.
oh yes. So the
Hi
men,
everyone.
all the men go first. So Collins, say hi, please.
Hello, everyone. We are back again with an amazing topic. Oh, bless. What is oh, bless? So we hope you enjoy it. Stay with us and also fired up yourself because what you get today is something that will blow your mind. Thank you.
Oh, oh yes, for sure. Thank you. They always say that behind a successful man there is a woman. So there's a power woman today behind three hefty men. Hello, Anita. Thank you for joining.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me again. It's like being a soap star, isn't it? Coming on regular times of the week. Lovely to
Right.
be here. Lovely to be here.
Indeed, it's always happy to have you here all the time. So,
Thank
Colin,
you.
straight to the point. What is oh bless? Let's mute, guys.
Yes, Sister Comfort. Yeah, that's a good one. We've been talking about oh bless, oh bless. I always call it the queen or the king or the heart of Onpassive. Why oh bless? So we already know, as we know, Obla is a crowdfunding application. A crowdfunding, a lot of people don't know Obless as a product is a crowdfunding application. So what do we do with it? It's a non-profit platform where, for instance, if you want to carry out a good cause, maybe you want to help someone in need, maybe you want to help a charity or an organization trying to raise funds for good cause. Obless is a platform that you can come and do that. So 100% of the fund go to what you want to do, and again, it's the perfect and it's powered by AI. You know, everything on passive is powered by AI. So in a nutshell, it's a crowdfunding application for which you can use to raise funds for a good cause. So that is it in a nutshell, Sister Comfort.
All right, no problem. Quite straight to the point. We would also like to hear a bit more from Andy, as much as you can add there. If Collins has said, and there's something, one or two things still left, or from your perspective, what is oh bless?
Yes, it is a crowdfunding opportunity, but there's a massive difference between that and charities. So charities deduct fees from from what comes in, and some as much as 40% comes off the top. So for every dollar you pay, 40 cents goes in costs to the charity. And we've seen in the past, managing directors or directors that run the charities in London earning 500,000 a year. That's wrong. What Ash has created, oh bless, has no fees deducted whatsoever. So they even keep the admin fees in house. This is 100% goes to the project or the requirement. Now, Collins quite rightly pointed out this is a crowdfunding opportunity. It's not necessarily just for charities, projects, inventors, guys with good ideas, funding new businesses. There are lots and lots of opportunities that Obless can be used for. So yes, we're here to help other people be able to generate income for themselves. So Obless is a big issue.
All right, thank you, Andy. You've said something that I would definitely want to come back to, but let's hear from everybody first. So, Anita, what is all blessed? You want to add or comment on what the gentlemen have said? It's yours.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've described it as it is, really, isn't there? There's not much more to add to the description of the platform as to what it does, enabling anybody to raise money to help any cause, But when I first came into Onpassive, the understanding was the platform. But what then came to light was much, much more to Obless. It's not just the platform, is it? It's what we as a company are also doing. So, to see that video, let's say a year ago, actually, it was at the end of March last year, to see that Lifting Humanity video brought tears to my eyes, because that's the other side of Obless. So we have the platform, but we also have our Obless charity side of things, where we are going out and we are giving the human hand, as it says on there. There was orphans and senior citizens, poor, homeless, hungry. We're doing that. And then, there's another video on YouTube as well, actually, which is lovely, and that's where they're delivering to children in need of special needs and stuff like that. So we don't want to confuse the two, because I've watched certain people saying things that they'd like to do and things that they'd like to give away. They'd like to give away a reseller position to help people raise money. That's a separate thing, in my opinion. We can give people a reseller position. We can help them pay for that so that they can raise money for whatever it is they want to raise money for. But we must remember that's separate to Obless. That's just something we might want to do out of the goodness of our own hearts. So let's not confuse them all. Okay, so there is the platform. There is also what we as a charity, is our side of our charity, what we're doing, going out and feeding the homeless and the hungry, etc. Donating money, and we've donated money as well for the Turkey and Syria earthquake. We're doing quite a lot of that sort of stuff as a company. But then also there's what we can do as individuals, which is separate to Obless. So hopefully that makes sense.
Definitely, it does, of course. So, thank you, Tim. So, so far, Gideon, I think there's a lot has been said. So, you just want to add to whatever you want to add, or to comment on what they have said. I think that will be fine. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Thanks everyone. Obless is totally different. Even as it is a crowdfunding system, and just as we know, many of the problems that people are facing, especially in some areas, undeveloped or not so much developed countries or locations, is the fact that they don't have one or two basic things. And these things are not just because they are not available, it's because maybe the people cannot afford them and all that. So Onpassive is coming with a solution to help everyone to have a better life. I remember when we came to know about Onpassive and Mr. Mufareh, the CEO, we said that he's someone who is after helping people to have a way to live a normal life. He's not after himself alone, but he's after helping others. And that has been shown in the creation of Obless. It will be used to solve many of the problems that we have. Like one of the problems that we have is some people are rich, some are not rich, some have some things, some doesn't have. Just like the other day I was with you guys on this live, I mentioned that there was no electricity where I am. And these are some of the things that people have and others don't have. And these things can be created, it can be gotten if the people have the means to do so. Obless will be able to give people the platform through crowdfunding, through assisting those who have talents to be able to produce what is needed in the community, starting from their immediate community, to be able to live normal life. And that can extend, that can extend to every other person. I don't want to go too much further because I know we will be talking about why we say Obless is not just a charity. It's not just a charity. So it goes beyond just assisting people to get a meal today. It's much like showing people how to fish other than just giving them fish. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks so much, Gideon. That was a powerful one too, from your own angle. Thank you. Let's put some certain things straight, because we have been singing throughout. Onpassive is a humanitarian movement. Andy, a few minutes ago, you say Onpassive can help people generate funds. Gideon says it has solution for all. Anita says the same, and Colin says the same. However, on the other hand, again, Ash says, "Oh, bless is not a charity." Is everything adding up here, Andy? If you could start again, let's make this clear. Oh, bless is not a charity. However, everything we list here shows that it's here to help humanity. Let's clarify this, please.
Sure. Gideon, do you want to mute your mic? I think we can hear a slight whistle. Okay, cool. The whole purpose of Oh Bless is to lift humanity. So there are various ways and means of being able to do that. Some is with helping people with things like electricity, with schools, communities where they need help. Others are things like new technologies. We want to bring new technologies to the fore. Now, one of the problems has been in the past that a lot of technology is suppressed because it can create problems for some institutions, some major institutions. And the problem is that the solution is that if you have a company the size of Onpassive behind it, we can help these guys. We can help provide the funding they need to bring their inventions to the fore. So yes, there's a lot of charitable work going on in the background, as Anita quite rightly pointed out. We've sent truckloads of goods and medicines to the earthquake victims, but there's more to it. There's far more to it than that. And as Gideon quite rightly said, our objective here is to help others to help themselves, by using Oh Bless. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are no fees deducted. Most people put into charities and expect everything to go to where they're placing their money. That doesn't happen. And we've seen massive deductions being taken from the contributions that you and I pay into certain charities to cover costs. Ash is not going to do that. That is that makes a huge difference to any charity. If we've got 1.4 million founders right now, and the apples start to flow, and we donated $1 a month to a good cause or a project or an inventor, that's 1,400,000 every single month. Now, if we've got 1 billion customers over the course of the next however long, and each of those then donated $1, that's $1 billion a month. This becomes, as Collins mentioned earlier, a crowdfunding platform with a difference. This is going to be the world's largest crowdfunding opportunity, without a doubt. So it's basically, how do we help, who do we help, and what do we want to put our money through to help?
Wow. Yes. So thank you. Thanks, Andy. It's just so powerful the way you all put it. I really do appreciate that. So Anita, before I go back to the men again, would you say that it's more of a movement? I don't know the difference between movement and charity organizations and so on. So I'm more of a, I don't know, let's come from the other angle. Try to go straight to the point. Last week, we saw Chris Johnson do a few stuff here and there, and people were like, okay, this is
I
what
mean, it's like on the video I was saying, I think, it does say on that video that, Oh Bless is a movement, and it's begun by changing lives. So it is a movement. But I think, there's also, they've set a mission really, a mission to be a thoughtful charity. What that exactly means, define that. I think all charities are obviously thoughtful, but I think really we're kind of hitting the nail on the head there. It's more than just giving money, you know, to you know, as Gideon said there about the sort of teaching something, give a man a fish, it feeds them for a day, give them teach them to fish, feeds them for life. So it's just putting a lot more into it. It's kind of bridging the gap between the sort of needy and the supporters as it kind of goes. But you know, just going really back to what Andy was just saying there, you know, again, when we all first came into Onpassive, certainly for me a long time ago, there was that idea as well that we'll all be able to be into, not that we knew it was going to be called an ecosystem back then, but we were all going to be able to be in our now ecosystem, and we will be able to choose to click on something and think, do you know what, this month I'm going to donate to that. So it's going to be there at the you know, our fingertips really to have a look. And if we want to then add something onto that ourselves, now I'm not 100% sure it's still going to run this way, but this is I'm quite certain there'll be a lot of people that remember the talks of this, where it's your choice. It's your choice. You just click in and think, yeah, you know what, I've earned this much this month, I'm going to donate to that. So there's going to be quite a lot of causes on there, and we can all add to that as we choose. That's on top of whatever Ash decides to do in the way of the you know, the giving that we've been doing, the feeding and the sending money here and there. That's separate. So that was, I think, always his plan, was to have us founders, as Andy just said, 1.4 million. You know, if we all thought, great, while I'm just about to bring out my money for the month and out of my wallet, oh, who am I going to you know, just donate a little something to this month, you know? And $1, as he said, each, $1.4 million, isn't it, in a month? You know, so I think that's really what people have got to look at it. It's not that you have to necessarily give oodles amounts. That little $1 from everybody all adds up, doesn't it? So that's how I see it, is Ash is building this platform as something that's so easily accessible from all of us that we can just pick and choose. Where do we want to do that this month? Where do we want to do that this month? Perhaps would be somebody who wants to add something on there and raise money for our next door neighbour even, because you can even do that, you know, who you choose to raise money for. So yeah, that's how I'm seeing it. It's going to be so easily accessible to all of us, and anybody that's in that habit of wanting to donate on a regular basis, they're going to have an awful lot of choice, aren't they?
Yep, sure. Thank you. So listening to you all, if you can mute, please. So listening to you all, I would think, if we remember, Ash would say when we just started this movement, he would say, Mother Teresa was a kind person. She did not have money, but now his mission is to clone 1 million and 1.4 million, as we are now, Mother Teresa's. So I think after listening to you, one would say that Bless is just here to teach us, because we can only teach by showing the example and how to do it. So Bless is here now to say, this is how you start. This is from where you start becoming a Mother Teresa. You don't have to go to the fields, but you can deposit here and somebody goes there. I think that, I don't know, Gideon, would you say the same, or do you have something else to say?
Yes, I agree with that totally. Of course, the best way to tackle the situation is not just to send one person there. Even if you look at it literally, countries or if you want to go fight a war, you need armies, and these are made of numbers. So if it's better that you send 1 million soldiers to fight a battle than to send 2 or 1. Because so that's what we are trying to do. If one person like Mr. Ash Mufareh can actually bring out the best from many of us, and we are now reasoning in his direction, it is just that same way that all of us too will also impact many other people, so that they too can impact many other people, and the cycle goes round and round until it gets to a point where there may be no one left alone, generally speaking. Because when Mr. I spoke on Tuesday, right, when he says that Bless is not a charity, he was not saying that we're not going to use, he's not saying that we are going to use the monies or whatever we generate from the crowdfunding wouldn't be used to help people directly. But what is focusing his attention on is that we can generate crowdfunding, we can generate funds from Obless instead of just giving people money, maybe giving them healthcare for a day, giving them food for a day or a week or a month. We could look for the solution, look at the solution to the core problem that the people are facing, and probably solve that once and for all. Then that is the better way to go about it. And if we can do that, maybe in one community after another, one place after another, and then these people that we have empowered can as well empower other people. Just as Anita said, just as you yourself mentioned now, we can actually get round or get far within a short while. Let me just stop here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So, Collins, I know you've been silent for a while. Let me go back to what Chris Johnson has been doing a couple of days for the guy back there, back home. So many people were like, oh, I'm here, I'm doing something the same. I need help, I need help, I need help. Let's try to put this clear. One, we Ash is putting this because he hopes that we understand his vision of going out and helping people and drop in just a tiny bit of something here so that it goes a long way. So who do we target to help here? Fellow founders or anybody who needs help anywhere? Is it like whatever we raise, let's say we commit on dropping $1 each in on All Bless, is it to support founders in the house or just anybody who needs help?
I think, Mr. Komo, that's a good question. If we look at founders, what is the meaning and why did Ash accept to bring founders in Onpassive? It was because he said, I want to give you financial freedom. I want to give you time freedom. And so what will happen? You can go out and help humanity. So all of us, the 1.4 million, we are all blessed. So how can all blessed be blessing their own self? We have to be the blessing of others, not to bless our own self. Because if we keep it within our own self, it means everything is still in our own pocket. And remember, I said, it is better, there is a greater fulfillment in giving than keeping it to yourself. If we want to do good only to our own self, what difference are we making? We're supposed to be blessing to others, not our own self, because we already have it. So looking at that, it is about blessing humanity. Go out and do something for humanity. But as I said, all blessed is not a handout. No, that's not the reason. It doesn't mean we cannot carry out immediate action if there's immediate need. For instance, if there is natural disaster like what happened in Turkey, and we just need to go. But after that, what next? Do you go and give them handout and then fold their arms and see them dying, starving? And because, as Anita said, we cannot give them every day. But now, what do we need to do after, saving their lives, keeping them in shelter? We need to try to think now how to give them, to bring them back on their feet so they can be able to do what they used to do, go back to their normal jobs, create things for them, help them so they can help others. Is it a shop that you want to open if you're a carpenter? Is it something like Anita said, Andy said, create something for them? That is the meaning of all blessed. You enable them, the potentials, so they can be enabled to stand back and do stuff for themselves. That's all blessed. So you can move on again with the other side. I think it's both ways. We cannot be blessing ourselves internally, but all blessed is for those who are in need. But not only to go and give them, but bring them back, enable them, so they are not like Michael always said, they are not dead. I said they are not dead people. They are living. It's just that there is no way for them to survive. But if you speak to them and you know their potential, you can enable them. And do you know what it means to enable one person? You bring a blessing to that family, because once the person is enabled, whatever you've given to that person or create job opportunity, that person will be able to take care of their families. That is all blessed. So, Mr. Comfort, if there is anything, but I think that's it. The long way to go is about enabling people. Uplifting humanity is not about giving them everyday food, bag of rice or days. No, it's about bringing their potential back. stimulating their brain, and they can get back to work and be useful to the society.
Thank you so much, Collins. I think let's take a last round with this because you guys have said a lot. Obless is here to bridge the gap between the poor and the rich. The lies that the poor can always get poorer and the rich getting richer. Ash is here to use Obless to balance it up. Obless is here to render handout redundant because it's not worth it anyway. So, like Collins has started saying, let's just share what are some of the ways do we think we can empower these people because we want to empower them and give them stability and through which we restore their dignity because it's a very difficult moment being on the receiving side all the time. So Anita, while we make this round, everybody speaking, try to think about the fact that some people are not really trained and our business is internet based. Maybe no matter how much you try to teach them, they can't make it and so on. Just consider, say anything. How do you think we can empower those living in difficulty to give them that stability in their lives where they can fend for themselves and be happy like any other person? So Anita,
Well, first and foremost, I mean, we're giving people an online internet business, a way to earn money online. So really, what we need to do is get those people that don't have internet. We need to assist them to have the internet because that's what they're going to need to enter into our ecosystem. You know, whether that be on a phone or whether it be on the internet, on a laptop or whatever. So really, without those things, it's pretty difficult, isn't it? So really, the idea there would be let's get as many people using with a phone or with an access to an internet somehow, because if they've got some kind of access somewhere, even if it's down at some internet cafe somewhere, you know, get them to an internet, they can then get into an ecosystem and they've got a way of learning, they're going to have a way of learning, they're going to have a way of earning money, they're going to, you know, have a way to have that dignity again, you know, like you say, of doing for themselves. I mean, just for me personally, you know, even being in Onpassive with Oh Bless attached to it, it gives you that sense of satisfaction. So I think, you know, that's what I've always looked for in any kind of business that I've been in. And it's not just job satisfaction, but think of what we're going to do to help people, but think of what that's going to do for them more so. So, you know, look, I'm not an expert. I don't know how you start bringing internet into other countries. There's all sorts to do. But in my opinion, we need to get people to the internet because without that, how can they get to our ecosystem and learn and earn with us? And the idea is to get into our ecosystem, learn and earn.
wow, powerful. Learn and earn. Of course, it's doable. So Andy, please.
I think there are two points that I'd like to kind of go back to almost. Collins hit on it, and so has Anita. But one of the things we have to take into consideration here is that for the vast majority of us, we wanted to help in so many ways, but not being in a financial position to be able to do so, and not had the capability to, as Gideon put it, in numbers. Yeah, we have not only got the opportunity here to be able to help others because of what Onpassive is doing for us as founders, and creating a business for us so that we will have some form of income coming in, and that income will grow and grow. But also the capability then to give us that opportunity to be able to give to others, to have financial stability to allow others to help others. Yeah. And in numbers, this as Ash quite rightly said, it lifts the whole of humanity because we now have 1.4 million, Colin said, Mother Teresa's. Yeah. We are, and because of Ash, we have become that. But now we have the opportunity and the platform to be able to do it as well. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Andy, because we're just here, we're being empowered to empower others, and it's continuous, like Gideon says. It's just going to spread like wildfire, hopefully. So, Gideon, do you have anything to add? Especially, do you think there's other ways? Anita said one, or you think there's a pressing issue you have, you want to say, just go ahead and say it, or ways we can help people. It's yours.
Yes, let me speak from the standpoint of where I live. Many young people are out of job. Many are also out of school. And of course, maybe some have had little basic education, but not quite much. But we can use proceeds from Obless to be able to keep these ones busy. And many of them are very, very good up there. They have some skills or they can develop some skills over time. I've seen some clips of young ones producing electrical appliances, producing even up to a vehicle with from scrap materials. But there's no other way to help these people because one, they don't have access to the big men, and then they don't have access to money. So from Obless, we can not just help them individually because when you help them individually, you may not be able to monitor the progress. We can create a kind of an institution, be it small or medium or big, and invite these ones into it. Invite these ones that don't have job or that needs additional education into these institutions. Then from training them through one skill or the other, you will be able to identify those that actually have the skills to do this or that. And those ones can be empowered further, probably to create a company of their own because the funds are going to be there. And then as they do that, they're also going to employ other people. So they have become an institution on their own. You monitor their progress and then you help them to become independent over time. As they do that, it's also within the community. And apart from that, we can also look at things like maybe agriculture, maybe engineering, maybe technology, generally like information technology. Any of this scope, we can bring in these young ones into this scope, train them, find those of them that have great skills. As these ones that have great skills that develop their skills and build other companies, some other ones who are also good within the community can become their staff. And then we have created a system, not just one, two, three, as many as possible. And these systems are now providing food and every other thing, providing life generally to many other people who would have also been abandoned or been without anything. So that's what my understanding on of that. Not just giving them fish, but teaching them how to fish, and this can go a very long way. One thing about such activity is that since we have the time and the resources to monitor it and nurture it, it can grow and it can also become like a standard that can be adopted elsewhere. And if we continue to go that way, of course, the sky will be the starting point.
Correct. Thank you so much. I think I just want to, if you can mute, please. I just want to use this opportunity to share something. It concerns me directly, but I'm happy to say a bit of it here. Andy, when you talk about people wanting to help and they can't afford, I'm a typical living example of it. Because as it stands, there's a war in my country. We have about 2 million people from my country living as refugees in Nigeria. So since 2017, 18, 19 to 20, we used to go like sit on Facebook, we dress like very old women in my country, just to draw attention to people to see that why are these women dressed like this, just to tell how people are suffering, women and children suffering, old people suffering in refugee camps, in a small one piece of room, 15, 20, 30 people living in one room, children dying of hunger. We would beg and beg, go through the whole month, we will not be able to raise even $500. But then our people are suffering. You are really troubled, but there's nothing you can do, right? So, the moment we find Onpassive, you are like, really? Is this true? So when you go to the refugee camps, you have educated people, you have teachers, you have business people, you have students who have dropped out of school. You will not be buying rice again like we used to buy and send to them. What do? You give them accounts, you give them, tell them to go do this, take this account and stand up and start doing this and empower yourself, empower the community you live in. I think it's going to change a whole lot, and especially for me as a person, this means just a lot. So thank you guys, and of course let's give Colin the last minute to quickly remind people about our event in Manchester on the 22nd, since he started this round. Collins, go ahead, please.
All right. So yes, Comfort, thank you. I just wanted to hit something a little bit before the Manchester event, because we've talked about All Bless and crowdfunding. We're talking about charitable way where you can do things and stuff. One of the things that came in my mind, we talk about Chris Johnson and what Chris Johnson do, which is really amazing. And we talk about founders who are calling, said, oh, can you please help me? Forgetting that they are also a blessing, because when the apple comes, what will you be doing? You empower yourself. They say, take care of yourself first, fill your pocket. What will you do with the excess? To go out and bless others, the financial and time freedom. Now, what I will do if someone is helpless, for instance, if there's an emergency strategy where you want to help, you can instantly help, no doubt. But from there, where do you take the person to? I'll give the person a reseller's position, because that position will bless many. But before giving you, I will educate you and say, this is what is coming your way. I will not just hand it and go. I will make sure the same education I've acquired in Onpassive, I will train that person, make sure the person understand what he is receiving. And I believe if the person understand, the person will be able to bless others. I said, what I've done for you, do it to others. That is a blessing, and you've already empowered that person. Just imagine what a reseller position would do for that person, rather than giving them money every day, trying to give them shops. We are living in a time where businesses are really crumbling. If I know you cannot survive, I will tell you, you know what? This is a golden opportunity. Take the reseller position. This is a blessing for you. Go out and do it and help others. That's it. Now, going back to the UK event, it is on the 22nd of April, so it's really fast approaching. And if you can make it, please make it. If you are in the UK, and if you are not in the UK, anyone who is around the UK and is interested to come, please direct them there. And I think the link is, Andy will say the link. I know we have the link. It just went off my head. But please, if you can make it, it will be nice for us to meet in person. It will be a very, very good event for us to meet. So thank you, Mr. Comfort. I will leave it there.
Sure. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful discussion. I really appreciate, and I thank you guys all for the support. Thank you, John Varela. Thank you, Attain Nakamoto, for sharing. Thank you for all the comments, and I think it goes a very long way. So see you again really soon, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks, team. Bye.